Hey, Suzanne Caldeira with Guaranteed Rate, and you may have been Googling a tech company and ended up on my YouTube. During the day, I'm a mortgage originator and help people get mortgages, but I also have a spot on my page where I will interview and have conversations with local business people that are worth knowing. So today I've got Dave Cordeiro from Envision Technology Advisors, who is dynamic and knows his stuff. So Dave, thanks so much for having a little chit chat with me.
Thanks for having me on today, Suzanne.
Yeah, so I want to go in and I want to understand a little bit on your story and how you get into this industry.
How I got into this industry? Gosh, I've been into technology since I was a kid and have always loved it. And probably my first full-time was in the car audio business in the late 80s and putting people in technology. And then after that, I went to Circuit City and putting the latest technology in people's hands with computers and electronics. And I owned my own company for over a dozen years. And last year, actually over a year ago now, my company merged with Envision Technology Advisors. And it gave me the ability to offer more services, products, and have a larger team of engineers to support our clients.
I love the background of what you're doing that kind of fed your soul, because I'm sure that you've had jobs in the past where you probably felt like you were, I don't know, dying a slow death, or I can't believe I'm here, or praying for Friday, right?
The days in retail were difficult, working every weekend, every holiday, and, having Tuesdays and Thursdays off was not cool. So I'm glad to be out of the retail world and working business to business now. It's definitely refreshing.
So talk to me a little bit about and I remember when you had that merger and just seeing your excitement, and I just feel like anytime I'm around you, your energy shifted. You've always been passionate about what you do, but I just feel like you're able to serve way more people. So what were things you had to say no to in the past that now you can say yes to?
Well, my company was cyber technical, but we specialize mostly with web development, web applications, custom web design and development. And because technical was in our name, many of my clients and hundreds of clients over the decade plus had always asked, oh, can you handle our computers, our network, wanting to do infrastructure upgrades, security upgrades. And for 12 years, I referred that business away. I gave it to business partners, associates, and competent people in the industry. But it was, from a business development perspective, it was always frustrating that I couldn't take on that work. And looking at opportunities to grow our company and add to the engineering team, it was a major investment. And we wanted to partner with a company that we could potentially take on these projects with. I had a great meeting with the CEO of Envision. Conversation went from one to another, and next thing you know, they're like, great, we're going to take you on, merge with our company, and be part of our team, and yourself, your business partner, everything about cyber technical we want on the Envision team, and you'll never have to say no to anybody. And now I'm here, and it's awesome. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel that anytime you and I connect. Now, are there certain type of clients or certain type of projects that for you, or you feel like, hey, I'm engaging with the right type of client? Like, what's that type of client look like for you?
Definitely mid and large size corporations and businesses, even some on the enterprise level. Having the ability to service companies at 50 to 150 or 500 employees are totally in our wheelhouse. So we, on the larger companies, generally work with the IT staff. The IT staff handles certain things for the company, but there are other things they need expertise and outside resources to partner with. And that's where we can deliver that at Envision. Even on the smaller scale, maybe it's a small law firm of 20, 25 employees, and they need a managed services provider to take over their computers, network, security. We take care of that too.
And are there any companies that are either too small or maybe not a right fit for you guys?
Generally, the solopreneur requires a lot of hand-holding and a lot of services. And our setup and dynamic and infrastructure with our engineering team, generally putting a high-end engineer on somebody that works out of a solo or two-person office, they'll find that we're overkill, and it's way more than what they need. Sometimes just a small local computer guy will handle those types of projects with ease, and it's generally outside of the scope of what we handle. So larger clients are really our wheelhouse.
I would think that with everything that happened with COVID this past year, that being with Envision and being able to serve your clients, did you find that a lot of clients were reaching out more proactively to you in a panic of, hey, we need to upgrade this, or we need to do that?
It was across the board, everything from the hundreds of websites that all wanted COVID updates and notifications on the website updates and changes that needed to be made. So certainly that was one thing, and then the second part was the infrastructure. Although I joined Envision in the beginning of 2020, as a company, Envision had been practicing and talking with their clients about building a distributed workforce infrastructure as far back as 2018. So way before COVID came around, Envision was telling their clients, listen, here's the way of the future, a distributed workforce, and having the capabilities to do that. And when the COVID hit and, first few months of 2020, everybody's like, hey, remember everything you were telling us about? We want it now. And certainly, unfortunately, the pandemic hit, but fortunately for us, being in the right environment to provide those services to clients and give them the ability to work from a distributed workforce and not really miss a beat, we really helped out a lot of companies. So that felt good.
I'm sure it did. Yeah. So when you're not being Dave at Envision, what's Dave like to do when he's not talking all this techie stuff?
So I'm really frustrated this year because I'm a huge football fan and love tailgating. I missed probably 4 or 5 concerts this summer. Missed tailgating all the football games this year. Definitely an outdoorsy, camping, whatever it may be, just outdoor stuff I like to do. And didn't really get a whole lot of that this year, but that's okay. I'll be back to that. And I also make a point to get down to Myrtle Beach a couple times a year. And certainly it's just relaxing on the beach and unwinding and letting the batteries recharge is always a good thing.
Yeah, and obviously with what you do, if you had to plug in, I'm sure it's easy with the tech that you have.
It is actually having the ability to work from anywhere, and I can take my company laptop, and whether I'm my office at work, my home office, on the road, I literally can do my job anywhere. Which obviously, as a digital transformation company, we have the infrastructure for ourselves. So every employee has the ability to work anywhere, anytime, with any device, and it allows us to be very efficient.
And I think you're hitting something that, if there's anyone if you found this via Google, or if it's something that your business is struggling with, especially with what's going on in the world, or with people wanting the ability to work from home, I think having the right company and partner that can help you grow is important.
It is, and a lot of it has to do with the security side of it and the zero trust architecture that we implement. The days of a firewall and protecting all your data inside the 4 walls of your building are old school. It really, your data needs to be remotely accessible from anywhere, but having the security measures in place to identify the user, the device, and the security on the file, and whether it can be opened or whether it self-destructs because the wrong person on the wrong device tried to get it. We implement those things to keep companies safe.
Yeah. An interesting thing for me and where I work is the amount of technology. And I think if I went back a few years, I would have no idea what you were talking about, but now I understand it with all of these additional layers that we're required to go through, and being able to work literally anywhere.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to go work in California. Okay.
Sure.
No one will know where I am. I might have to
Right.
earlier, but I'm able to do that. And I think that companies like yours provide such a resource for local businesses.
Yeah, people have grown accustomed to multi-factor authentication, whether they're logging onto their bank and need to answer that security question, or they get a text message and put in that code to get to their data. If companies are set up that way, then they don't need to worry about the 4-wall, mindset that used to be in with my industry.
Dave, are there any particular industries that maybe you haven't started working with that you think would be good for Envision as a client?
Actually, learning to grow the customer database that we have and the clientele that Envision has. We're in 48 states, so we have everything from nonprofits to for-profits to manufacturing, engineering, legal, accounting. There's such a diverse group of clientele that we have. It really has given us the ability to learn areas in certain industries that have best practices or things that they've implemented that, hey, this might work in another industry. And it gives us the ability to share that information with other industries. So it hasn't really been anything that's tripped us up or we haven't been able to handle. And it comes down to the right fit and how a client wants to engage with us, whether they need us just for a little bit for technical support or they need us for all support. No two clients are the same, and it's really a matter of a good fit. And we want to make sure that we're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for us. I think one of our unique things about us in our industry is that our managed services are a no contract managed services. In my industry, it's standard. Somebody will sign you up for a 2-year, 3-year, whatever it may be for a contract. And we're no contract. Every month in, month out, we need to do a good job. And if we don't, we know we'll lose that client. To our advantage, we're actually exponentially more than the industry average. Clients stay with Envision longer than they do with any other managed services provider. One, I think because we do a good job. 2, our pricing is very reasonable. And 3, we want to make sure we keep that customer happy all the time because we know that they're not tied with golden handcuffs under a contract. They can leave anytime. So we do our best to make sure they don't. And we've proven that.
Wow. And I think that says something about the company's philosophy. And to me, being a sports person like you, every day you guys are stepping up to the plate. And it's not like I feel like maybe companies get lazy when they have you in a 24 or a 36-month agreement.
Envision's been around a long time, over 22 years. I mean, the first major pandemic was Y2K that Envision dealt with. 21 years ago with, getting computers and networks, and obviously nothing really happened with that. But so we've been around for a long time as a company. We've got 50 employees. The majority of it's all engineers, few account executives and strategic account people. But all in all, we're here to support our clients wherever they are. And today we've actually acquired more clients because people are accepting of this, meetings online, and knowing that their engineers can access things remotely. And because many services are cloud-based today, they really don't care where their company is. It doesn't have to be the guy down the street supporting my computers and network. They can be anywhere. And as long as they provide good service, that's all that matters. So it's really beneficial to us. And I'm excited about it. I mean, we've grown. I mean, a lot of companies have suffered through this pandemic and we've continued to grow.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to continue hearing about your growth, and delighted that you said yes, and that I have you living in my YouTube forever, so
That's
that
awesome.
so that the info can get out there. So thanks, Dave, so much.
Thanks, Suzanne. Appreciate chatting with you today.